Welcome to the CEO Crowd Show. It's your host and coach, Rebecca Nesbitt, and today we're talking all about feedback. We are talking about feedback because it's something that has definitely impacted our community lately. There's been a bit of a drive for getting more feedback, and specifically with one of my one-to-one clients, it was really the first time she had opened herself up for external feedback. And thank goodness she does the work. It is all going well, my friends. But if you've not done this work and you're just putting your business out there, you're kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall, then feedback can actually be really, really hard if you're someone who gets defensive, or maybe you're just a little bit more highly sensitive. Then this really is a conversation for you, because I do believe there's a way to receive feedback and feel really, really good about it and empowered. So, here are three ways to feel a little bit more empowered around your feedback. And let's open up this conversation because I think it's something that everyone kind of ignores. We're always told to just put it out there. But once you've put it out there, then just move on to the next thing. It's never refine the first thing, see what you could do better. It's always just the next, the next, the next. You'll improve every time. But will you improve without good feedback? It's questionable. You may learn along the way, yes. But if you're not getting any external input, that still does matter. You need both. I think there's almost in this world of entrepreneurship, there's either or. Either it's 100% soul led, heart led, everything is intuition and alignment and just about you. And then there's this other side that is seek feedback, get the data. And very rarely do they mix, and actually, they really have to for you to have a business that you're really going to enjoy that continues to make profit. So, here are three ways to feel really empowered with your feedback so that you can truly be a great company who is improved by experiences of crisis, for lack of a better term. And I'll explain a little bit more about that in a second and why I said it that way. So, stay till the end, my friend. So, the first way that we are going to feel empowered around our feedback is that when we know we are entering into a period of feedback, you don't always know. You might put out a post and someone says, "This sucks." And you're like, "Oh, I was not expecting that. That came out of left field. That's just rude." But anytime we're putting something out there, or when we are actively asking for feedback, if you're actively doing market research or if you ask someone for their opinion, whenever you're going to enter into that, you know you're doing it because you're going to make that ask. Then really do set aside some time. And I know that entrepreneurs, we never want to hear this, set aside some time. It's like, I'm not probably not going to do that. But genuinely, if you don't want to be taken down by the feedback and lose days, if not months, this can really be very impactful of your business life, then maybe do set aside this time to increase your self-care. And by increase your self-care, I don't mean just, go for the bath and hope that that helps you kind of reset your nervous system to a degree so that you can come back to it. I mean by self-care, increasing positive self-talk, really taking care of yourself, and whatever that means to you. Maybe it is the bath, maybe it is watching a movie to kind of take your mind off it. Maybe it's going for the walk, maybe it's going kayaking, going to your favorite gym class, maybe it's just sitting in silence and meditating, spending time with your friends, a drink with your girlfriends, maybe go wild. Just increase whatever self-care is for you, because when you're going through getting feedback, some people genuinely need more gentleness than others. Like I said earlier, if you're someone who's particularly defensive or you're someone who's a little bit more sensitive, if you don't like to be wrong, if you have some kind of conditioning tied up in being right. So if you're not right, then you would have got in trouble from your parents, or kids at school would have laughed at you, things to that nature. Then that's why I'm saying increase the self-care. It's not because it's just like a fun little band-aid to slap on everything, because I feel like that's what self-care kind of has become. Like, oh, you're burned out, you're stressed, like more self-care, more self-care, more self-care. And I don't think that we understand why we actually need it. And for me, knowing why is huge in getting me to actually do the thing. So I hope that was helpful for you too. That's why we increase the self-care, because there's probably a either younger version of you, or there is a nervous system dysregulated part of you that needs to be soothed, because getting feedback that is potentially negative, even the potential that it could be negative, can throw people off. So just be really, really delicate with yourself, plan some fun things. Even like tell people in your household, I'm going through this right now. I had this earlier. It wasn't necessarily about feedback, but I want to give you a real life tangible example of when you would have these conversations, because typically people are like, sit people down, like almost like an intervention, and tell them X, Y, and Z. I don't think it works like that. Earlier, I was working on something. I had about 4 minutes before a call started. I was trying to post on social media, and my husband comes in and wants to speak with me. And I just said to him, like, honey, I really can't right now. I have 4 minutes and I have to get through this before this call starts. I just don't have the time, but I really do want to hear about CrossFit, and I really do want to hear about your day. And I love you, and I will see you after. And he goes out the room saying really sweet things. And, we're very fortunate. We have a loving relationship, and I hope you do too. But those are the kind of real life moments where you say, hey, this is what's going on in my world. And if the other person is just there to like chill and have a chin wag, then they're going to be okay with that. If they're stressed themselves, different situation. But I just wanted to pose this to you in a way that these conversations don't have to be like huge parts of your day. It doesn't have to be like, go to everyone in your house right now and tell them, I'm getting feedback and I need more self-care and I need you to do this. Ugh, no, like there's a gentler way to do things. And I think that that comes from, if you have awareness in yourself, then you will be able to share that with the people closest to you in a vulnerable way that is truly honest and authentic to you. And it's not like dramatic slap it in someone's face, because that never works, my friends, never. So the first thing to do was to increase the self-care. Second thing to do is, when you do get that feedback, don't take everything as gospel. Not everyone's opinion is right. And I remember I used to follow this girl on Instagram. Her name was Diana Gietti, maybe. The name escapes me, but she used to do, like, she was a big influencer of the outfit of the day, the Utada. She was so funny. And I can remember watching this reel of her, and she was like, I didn't ask for your wrong opinion. And I do think to a degree that is true. If you read something, you're like, that's 100% not right, then it's okay to just be like, I'm not going to accept that opinion. It was so interesting. Someone tried to scam me earlier today on Facebook, as they do, and got into my email, which is not the email I use for my Facebook. So I was already confused, but they got into my email and they pretty much said, like, we are going to take down your page because it has hate speech. I was like, what page are you looking at? This is not my page. There is no hate speech on my page. And I went to like look at the last post that we'd had, because instantly you think, oh my gosh, like, have I done something? Have I said something? Has someone gotten into my account? This has happened to me before. Someone got into my account and changed things. So there was like a little bit of panic. So I hop into my Facebook and Instagram accounts, and I'm like, the last posts were really nice. It was about like increasing my Instagram by 27% by not even posting on it. I don't think that's offensive to anybody, apart from maybe like genuinely the creators of these apps who have made the apps to be so addictive that they're annoyed that people aren't posting on them. Like, I don't think that's hate speech. So actually, I was being scammed. So caught that one out. No, you do not get my Instagram, Facebook password. Do not passcode. Do not collect all of my money. Thank you. And I think that this is something we can bring into feedback. Whenever we get feedback, yes, there's that initial like, oh, but sometimes we can tell ourselves, oh, this isn't true. This is a scam. And sometimes it's not a scam. Sometimes it is someone's genuine opinion, and it might be someone close to you. I've had this before where I've had people that are close to me, they've posted on my Facebook, typically my Facebook, because Instagram kind of always started as being about the business. So none of my friends and family really joined unless they knew they were going to get like a lot of information about my business. But with Facebook, because I had Facebook before and then transitioned, I had this gentleman who is a friend of the family who just has very loud opinions, and he thinks he's funny. And I love that for him. but I didn't find it as being funny. So I kind of got to the point where I just deleted a lot of his comments and then I just blocked him all together because I was like, I don't need to listen to this. And also, I think then if I meet him in person, I'm very happy to tell him why he is blocked and why he doesn't see my work anymore. And I think that's maybe something that we can work on when it comes to other people's opinions. It's like if that person came up to you in real life and said, like, hey, why is this? Then you can genuinely give them a reason and say, it's because you post these things and that upsets me. So this is my safe space online and I don't appreciate when you say those things. So I think it actually gives you better communication across the board. But to come back to the point, not everyone's opinions are right, especially if it comes to your business and it comes to your intuition. And you're like, I'm following something that I feel is so right. And this goes so against that. Then give yourself grace. You don't have to take their opinion. And the third thing is the opinions we do want to take are the positive ones. But as we know, the negative always has a stronger hold on us. And I believe that this is primal. You know, back in the day, it was really important to be more aware of threat than it was to be aware of good things happening. That was just how our brains developed. So if that's the case, then we really have to try and counteract that now, being, you could argue, more advanced human beings, then we're aware of these things that our brain does. So now what we can do is we can actually repeat the positive statements out loud. If someone says, you changed my life, you can always read that out loud. You changed my life. I changed someone's life. Wow. Like when that sinks in, say that out loud because saying things out loud is really good for emotional regulation and self-control. And typically we actually use it in the opposite way. We'll go and like complain to everyone that will listen that this terrible thing happened to us. And we're saying it out loud and reinforcing it all the time when we could shift that language and we could say, even if you do need that moment to get out, because I don't think we need to hold things in, there is always a balance in all things, then we can get out, oh, this person said, they didn't like this post because it was too motivational. I've genuinely had that before, like you're too happy. It was too happy. But then this other person said they really loved it and it brightened their day. And I'm choosing to answer, like, I'm choosing to listen to this one because it made me feel good about myself and it made that person feel good. And the person that was just upset that everyone else in the world is happy and clearly they're not, then I'm not going to listen to that person's opinion. So, those are the three things I would consider when it comes to empowered feedback. And I think that increasing your self-care and being mindful of when you're asking for feedback, obviously some feedback is ongoing, like your podcast, your YouTube, your emails, your social media, your clients, all of that feedback is ongoing, understandable. But when you're specifically asking for feedback, definitely increase the self-care when you know you're going through a period of getting feedback. Or, maybe you're a student of something, you're learning your craft and you're getting feedback from an essay or a test that you did, really increase that self-care. And the second thing is do not take everyone's word as gospel. Not everyone's opinion is right. Keep what serves you, leave what doesn't. And if anything is said with malice, I think completely disregard it. Some people are like, oh no, you can take greatness out of it. Maybe you can. I would just disregard it personally because that's the kind of person I am. I suppose I've still got ways to go in my awareness journey too, but personally, I just think if something is said with ill intent, I'm not interested in listening because that person wasn't in the right place when they shared it. So I don't know that I can trust their opinion necessarily either. And the third thing is to repeat the positives out loud, my friends. Oh, yes. Repeat those positives because that will really help emotional regulation and it will give you some control back. It'll put you back in the driver's seat. It'll give you that control back. And that's what we want when it comes to feedback, because that's how you can then take something and make it great. Take that feedback and make it excellent. And this is where I wanted to conclude with this quote. So earlier I said so that you can be improved. So you can be a great company and be improved by feedback. There was a quote from an ex-Intel CEO who said, "Bad companies are destroyed by crisis, good companies survive them, and great companies are improved by them." Sometimes feedback can feel like a crisis. And if you want it to destroy you, my friend, it will. If you want it to completely burn your business to the ground, it has the potential to do that. But if instead you opt for self-care, not listening to every single opinion, and you repeat some of the positives, not only will you survive the crisis of the feedback, you will improve both in yourself, mentally, emotionally, and in your business. And I think this all culminates to there are very few safe spaces online. And that's a real problem. It's a problem that I believe that I am here to solve for our CEO crowd community. So if you are looking for a safe space to ask for feedback and get feedback, then please do come to our CEO crowd networking. We host events every Monday, and you, my friend, are so welcome to attend. We'd love to see you there, and we'd love to be that safe space where you can ask for the support you need. That really is our secret skill. If I was to give anything, is that not only do we want you to come along and pitch your business, and we want to promote you to over 280 entrepreneurs now. I cannot believe that. We want to give you a safe space to ask for the support you need so that you can continue to grow. So we'd love to see you there. And in the meantime, until I see you next week, I will be over here believing in you.